Are you having difficulty planning a date night with your spouse or significant other because you were thinking about how much money you spent on bills, what you're buying for special food, perhaps for the holidays, and the list goes on and on? Well, stay tuned and I will share with you an inexpensive yet fun way to spend time with your spouse or significant other this holiday season. This is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. I hope that you'll consider subscribing and clicking that notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when I upload a new video on my channel. I love to talk about things that I'm passionate about, which are teaching online, as well as my Etsy shop where I can sew and make things for people, and how to save money. So today's question, how do we save money on our date nights? 3.5 years ago, when my husband and I got married, we made a promise to one another that we would carve out time every week for a date. Now, sometimes when we think about dating, we think about all the fine, restaurants and a lot of money one may have to spend to be able to date our spouse or significant other. But one thing that we're doing is that we're being creative in our ways of dating one another, especially when we're not able to really go out much because we're in a pandemic here in 2020. And so we are thinking of creative ways. So today is Monday when I'm recording this video. Yesterday, Sunday, I had a pack of invitation cards. So the invitations that I actually purchased them in 2019. I have a habit of going to Hobby Lobby to purchase Christmas items to replenish what we may need, wrapping paper, those kinds of things, because typically after Christmas they have those reduced significantly between 65 sometimes to 75% off depending on what it is. And so last year I picked up invitations that came in a pack like this. The reason why I did that is because we typically have open houses where we invite our friends and neighbors over. We may have dinner parties or brunches. I usually invite widows over to come over for like a holiday tea. And so I purchased these invitations last year to use for 2020, but I mean, who knew what was going to happen for 2020? So what I did is on Sunday, I completed this invitation with a festive red pen to invite my husband out for a date. Now, let's backtrack a little bit. We've been married for 3.5 years, and prior to us getting married, we made sure that we knew what each other's love languages were. If you haven't read the book, I will link it down below. I'm not an affiliate, but it's very good and it's very helpful in a relationship to know what your significant other or soon to be spouse's love languages are. It will avoid a lot of miscommunication in a relationship. So we identified that quality time was our primary, or really one of the top two love languages for each other. So spending time together really communicates love and appreciation and something that we really crave from one another. So I thought it would be great since we really can't go out and do a lot of things. And those times we go out and spend money on a nice dinner at a fancy restaurant are nice, but that's not something you have to do to date the one you love. So I decided that Friday night I would take my husband out for a date. And so I completed the invitation and placed it by his coffee maker because that's the first thing he goes to after he wakes up. Is to his coffee maker and he gets a cup of coffee. So I already had that brewing for him. He went and he knows an invitation and he was a little puzzled. I think maybe still asleep. And he opened it up and he was pleasantly surprised. So what we're doing is Friday night after dinner when it gets dark outside, I will take him to Starbucks and he will get his coffee because he loves coffee. I don't like coffee, being born in the UK, and I just like my tea. So I will get my ice green tea. That's one of my new favorite drinks. If you've never tried one, get the venti size. I get a venti green iced tea with 4 pumps of classic syrup and extra shaken. The extra shaken makes that classic syrup really mix well with it, and I like the classic. They don't typically put classic, they put the cane syrup, and I'm allergic to anything like that. It gives me a migraine, so the classic syrup is what I'm able to handle. And so make sure you get 4 and try it first. When they put the 5 or 6, which typically comes in that size, it is just overly sweet for me, but you may like it. But I love this ice green tea, and so I'll get that, and we will get back in our car, turn on the Christmas music, and we are going to drive around our neighborhood as well as the adjoining neighborhoods. It seems like more of our neighbors have been decorating outside this year. We have too. And so we're going to go around and look at Christmas lights, spending time together, listening to Christmas music, enjoying our favorite beverage, and just spending time together. We'll have our love language met. We'll go out and do something fun, and we will spend less than $6 to do this activity. So, when you're dating the one you love, it doesn't have to be expensive nor extravagant, and especially when you're thinking about maybe the gifts you're having to buy. And then, if you're not using like Amazon, you may have to mail them because you can't perhaps spend time with that person. I know I won't be able to see my mom this year. She lives in a different state and she's having some health problems. And so to get to her, I would have to drive over 14 hours or fly on a plane. And right now, I just don't want to risk that for her. So, you know, Christmas is a little bit different, but you don't have to miss out opportunities to spend with the one you love. Now, this is also a great idea for families, especially if you have young children. You can go out or even just brew a pot of coffee at home. You don't have to go out and purchase that. Load up your kids in their Christmas PJs. You can give them chocolate milk if you don't want to give them the hot chocolate, maybe a little bitty candy cane. Bundle them up in Christmas blankets, put on some fun, children friendly Christmas music, the ones they like, and drive around your neighborhood, even maybe Christmas Eve, as you're preparing for Santa to come to your house. This is just a great family activity, too. So, this is a way. I hope that it's helpful to you. Let me know if you try it, and we'll share more of our ideas that we have been doing for not cheap. We're not going to say cheap. That will communicate the wrong message to your spouse. But inexpensive ways to still date your spouse, yet not breaking the penny bank right now. So until next time, happy saving.